Well, they say some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but I think in Gao Qifeng's case, it was probably a paintbrush.
Uh-huh.
Today, we're diving deep into the world of Lingnan School art
Okay.
and the fascinating life of one of its founders.
Sounds exciting. It's going to be quite a journey, exploring not just his art, but also
Yeah.
his incredibly dynamic life as a revolutionary
Mm-hmm.
and a teacher navigating the changing landscape of early 20th century China.
Absolutely. And to help us understand all of this, I'm joined by Kimi, our resident art expert, especially when it comes to the intricate world of Chinese art history.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Buckle up as we unearth the story of Gao Qifeng.
Let's just say Gao Qifeng's life wasn't exactly a paint-by-numbers experience.
Uh-huh.
It's full of twists and turns that I think you'll find really captivating.
Definitely. And speaking of captivating, his early life is a great place to start.
Okay.
He was born in 1889 in Guangdong province, but unfortunately he was orphaned at a very young age.
Oh, wow.
It makes his eventual success even more remarkable.
Yeah, it's quite a testament to his resilience. He was raised by his older brother, Gao Jianfu, who, as you might know, became a renowned artist himself,
Right.
and, of course, a co-founder of the Lingnan School alongside Qifeng.
Oh, wow.
They really were a powerhouse sibling duo shaping the future of Chinese art.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how those early experiences, the hardship, and the close bond with his brother really laid the foundation for his artistic path.
It does make you think, doesn't it?
Yeah. It almost makes you wonder if he would have taken a different path had his life been different, right?
It's certainly an intriguing thought,
Yeah.
but considering how early he started, it's clear there was an innate talent and passion for art that probably would have found expression regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Think about it. He started his artistic training under Julian, a master of traditional Chinese painting, at the tender age of 13.
Wow. Yeah.
That's dedication.
I guess you could say he was practically raised in a studio absorbing those traditional techniques like a sponge.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he mastered techniques like boneless painting, which is known for its delicate brushwork and almost ethereal quality.
Exactly. And mastering that technique is no small feat. It's all about achieving a sense of fluidity and lightness, almost like watercolor, but with the control and precision of ink.
Wow.
This mastery really laid the groundwork for his later innovations where he seamlessly blended those traditional skills with Western and Japanese influences.
Yeah, and it's this blending of styles that really makes Gao Qifeng and the Lingnan School so unique, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like he took the best of what the East and West had to offer and created something entirely new, something that reflected the changing times and challenged the rigid traditions of the past.
Absolutely. But before we delve deeper into those artistic innovations, there's another layer to Gao Qifeng's personality that we can't ignore.
Okay?
While honing his artistic skills, he was also deeply involved in the political turmoil brewing in China at the time.
Right.
This wasn't just some passive interest. He was a passionate advocate for social change, and even joined the Tongmengyi, a revolutionary organization seeking to overthrow the Qing dynasty.
Now, that's what I call a double life. Painter by day, revolutionary by night.
Uh-huh.
It's incredible how interwoven his life was with the political climate of the time. It's almost hard to imagine someone so dedicated to the subtleties of art also being involved in such a dangerous and volatile movement.
Right, you wouldn't necessarily expect an artist known for his delicate brushstrokes to be involved in such a risky endeavor.
No.
And there's a fantastic anecdote that really highlights this duality.
Okay.
His friend and fellow revolutionary, Wang Jingwei, recalled seeing him peacefully asleep in a room full of explosives.
Wow, talk about nerves of steel. I guess that calm under pressure probably came in handy when he was facing critics or navigating the complex world of art and politics later in his career.
Yeah.
But this revolutionary spirit wasn't just confined to secret meetings and daring acts.
Right.
It also found expression in his art, didn't it?
Definitely. And to really understand how this political fervor influenced his artistic vision, we need to follow his journey to Japan.
Okay.
In 1907, he and his brother traveled to Tokyo to further their artistic education,
Okay.
a pivotal moment that really broadened their horizons.
So he went beyond those traditional Chinese techniques he learned from his brother.
He did, yeah.
What was it about Japan that sparked this artistic evolution?
Well, think about it. Japan at that time was undergoing its own period of rapid modernization
Right.
and was already incorporating Western artistic concepts into its own traditions.
Yeah.
He was exposed to a whole new world of artistic expression, studying under masters like Tanaka Raishu, who specialized in Nihonga, a style that blended Western techniques with traditional Japanese aesthetics.
It sounds like a perfect environment for someone like Gao Qifeng, who was already pushing boundaries and questioning traditions back in China. What specific techniques or ideas did he pick up during his time in Japan?
He was particularly drawn to Western perspective, sketching techniques, and the Japanese approach to light and shadow, elements that were largely absent from traditional Chinese painting.
Right.
He began to incorporate these into his own work, creating a fascinating fusion that would become a hallmark of the Lingnan School.
So we had this incredible fusion of East meets West happening in Gao Qifeng's art. But it wasn't just happening in a vacuum.
Right.
He was actively trying to reshape the entire Chinese art scene, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't content with just incorporating these new ideas into his own work. He and his brother, Gao Jianfu, were on a mission to modernize Chinese art and make it more relevant to the changing times.
How did they go about shaking things up? What was their strategy for bringing this new vision to life?
Well, they took a page out of the Reformers' playbook
Okay.
and decided to use the power of the press. In 1908, shortly after returning from Japan, they founded a magazine called The True Record.
The True Record. I love it. It sounds like they were throwing down the gauntlet, challenging the established art world to wake up and embrace change.
Exactly.
What kind of content did they feature in this revolutionary magazine?
It was a vibrant mix of art, essays, and social commentary, all aimed at promoting their vision for a new Chinese art.
So they were creating a platform for dialogue and debate, sparking conversations about the future of art in China. But this was a time of significant political upheaval.
Right,
And I imagine not everyone welcomed their progressive ideas.
for sure.
Did they face any pushback for their boldness?
Oh, absolutely. The True Record wasn't afraid to criticize the government, which, was a risky move in those days.
Yeah.
One article in particular is believed to have implicated Yuan Shikai, the provisional president, in the assassination of a prominent nationalist leader.
That's a serious accusation. I can only imagine how that went down with the authorities. What were the consequences of such a daring move? Did they get censored or shut down?
Well, it didn't come to that, but the consequences were still pretty severe. A warrant was issued for Gao Qifeng's arrest, forcing him back into exile in Japan.
It seems his revolutionary spirit extended beyond his art and landed him in some hot water. It's a shame that he had to flee homeland again, especially when he was trying to contribute to its cultural evolution. But even in exile, he didn't let these setbacks stop him from creating, did he?
Nope.
How did he continue to develop his art during this second period in Japan?
It seems that adversity often fuels creativity, and this was certainly the case with Gao Qifeng.
Okay.
He continued to refine his style, blending those Western and Japanese influences, but he also delved into something completely new, woodblock printing.
Woodblock printing. That's quite a departure from the delicate, boneless style he was known for.
It is.
What drew him to this new medium? Was it a way to express his political views more directly, perhaps?
It's hard to say for sure, but it certainly speaks to his incredible versatility as an artist. He wasn't afraid to experiment and explore different forms of expression. And remember, woodblock printing was a powerful tool for disseminating ideas and images, especially in a society with limited literacy.
It's almost like he was channeling his revolutionary spirit into a new medium, finding innovative ways to reach a wider audience. It makes you wonder if his woodblock prints carried any hidden messages or political commentary, doesn't it?
That's a fascinating question, and one that art historians are still exploring. But regardless of the hidden meanings, his time in Japan clearly had a profound impact on his artistic development, pushing him to expand his repertoire and explore new avenues for creative expression.
So we have this incredibly talented artist, a revolutionary at heart, honing his skills and absorbing new ideas in Japan.
Yes,
But eventually he does return to China, right?
he does, yeah.
Did he ever manage to escape the shadow of his past and fully embrace his artistic calling?
Yes, he did eventually return to China, and this marks the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one focused on teaching, mentoring, and solidifying his legacy as a master of the Lingnan School.
This is where we'll pick things up in the next part of our deep dive. Welcome back to our deep dives into the life and art of Gao Qifeng. We left off with him returning to China, ready to embark on a new chapter focused on teaching and solidifying his legacy as a master of the Lingnan School.
Yeah, but life, as it often does, had other plans, right?
It's always tragic when someone with so much potential and passion is taken from us prematurely.
It is.
What led to this untimely end to his story?
Well, in 1933, he received a tremendous honor. He was selected to represent China at a prestigious exhibition of contemporary Chinese painting in Berlin. It was a chance to showcase his art on the world stage.
So he was going to make the journey to Europe.
He was.
It's remarkable that he was so determined to share his art with the world, even in his weakened state.
He was. He boarded a ship from Guangzhou to Shanghai, where he was scheduled to attend a preliminary meeting before heading to Europe.
Okay.
And it was during this voyage that his health took a turn for the worse.
I can only imagine the disappointment and fear he must have felt as his condition deteriorated.
Yeah.
Was there anything that could be done?
Sadly, no. Despite the efforts of his fellow passenger, the renowned artist Yi Gongqiu, who sought medical attention for him on board, his condition worsened. By the time they reached Shanghai, he was critically ill.
It's heartbreaking to think that this journey, meant to be a celebration of his art, became his final voyage, what ultimately led to his passing.
Upon arriving in Shanghai, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and immediately hospitalized. Despite the best efforts of doctors, he succumbed to the illness on November 2nd, 1933, at the young age of 44.
What a devastating loss for the art world. His legacy, however, lives on, not just in his stunning artworks, but also in the profound impact he had on Chinese art.
Right.
How do they honor his memory and celebrate his contributions?
His death was met with an outpouring of grief and tributes from across China. A grand memorial service was held in Shanghai, attended by prominent artists, government officials, and those whose lives he had touched with his art and teachings. It's clear that he was not only respected for his artistic talent, but also deeply loved and admired as a person.
It's a beautiful testament to his character that so many people mourned his passing. Where did they lay him to rest? Was it a place befitting such a remarkable artist and influential figure?
Initially, he was interred at a Christian cemetery in Guangdong, but his legacy was too significant to be confined to a simple grave.
Yeah.
So later, thanks to the efforts of his devoted student Zhang Kunyi and prominent figures who recognized his immense contributions to Chinese art and culture, he was reinterred at Kapsia Mountain near Nanjing. His tomb was marked with an inscription by the president himself proclaiming him the Sage of Painting.
The Sage of Painting, what a powerful tribute. It speaks volumes about the impact he had on Chinese art and his nation as a whole. What were some of the key characteristics that defined his style and made his work so captivating?
Well, his brilliance lay in that seamless blend of traditional Chinese techniques with Western and Japanese influences. He could move effortlessly from the delicate boneless style to bold brushstrokes, achieving an incredible range of effects that brought his subjects to life with incredible depth and dynamism.
And it wasn't just his technique, his choice of subject matter also set him apart, didn't it?
It did.
Those powerful images of animals, especially tigers, lions, and eagles, weren't just aesthetically pleasing, they conveyed a deeper meaning. It's like you could sense the spirit of his revolutionary past in those fierce creatures.
Exactly. There's a palpable energy and defiance in those animals, a refusal to be caged or confined by convention, much like Gao Qifeng himself.
Yeah.
And even his landscapes, often featuring those same animals, weren't just serene depictions of nature.
Right.
There's a dynamism, a tension, almost like he was capturing a moment of change or transformation.
Speaking of capturing moments, are there any specific works that exemplify his mastery and are considered particularly notable? Pieces that showcase his unique talent and the evolution of his style.
Oh, absolutely. His painting, Lion, created in 1915, is a prime example.
Okay.
It's a powerful depiction of the majestic beast radiating strength and an almost untamed energy.
Wow.
It's considered his most expensive painting, fetching almost $1 million at auction.
Lion sounds breathtaking. Are there any other pieces we should add to our list of must-see Gao Qifeng masterpieces?
Two Water Buffaloes is another remarkable piece, and it's fascinating because it was actually inspired by a Japanese painting, highlighting that cross-cultural influence that was so central to his artistic development.
Right.
And then there's Pine and Monkey, which showcases his incredible skill in depicting animals in their natural environment. It's a beautiful blend of his mastery of both animal and landscape painting.
It sounds like a visual feast for the senses.
It is.
It's amazing how, even though his physical journey was cut short, his artistic journey continues to inspire and influence people around the world.
His legacy lives on, not just in his paintings, but also through the countless artists he mentored and inspired. The Tianfeng Seven, his most devoted students, carried the torch of the Lingnan School forward, ensuring that his vision for a new Chinese art continued to flourish. They became renowned artists in their own right, a testament to his exceptional talent as both an artist and a teacher.
As we conclude this deep dive into the world of Gao Qifeng, what are some of the key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
I hope they'll remember him as more than just a talented painter. He was a revolutionary who fought for his beliefs, a visionary who pushed the boundaries of artistic tradition, and a dedicated teacher who nurtured a new generation of artists. His life and work remind us that true artistry is not just about technical skill, it's about passion, purpose, and the courage to challenge conventions.
Beautifully said. His story is a testament to the enduring power of art and the profound impact one person can have on the world. And for our listeners, as you continue to explore the art of Gao Qifeng and Lingnan School, remember to look beyond the surface, to appreciate the intricate blend of techniques, the cultural influences, and the deeper meaning woven into each brushstroke.
It's been a truly enlightening journey exploring the life and art of this remarkable individual.
Until next time, happy exploring.